path to winning as I began to win more and more each time. As I was winning even a little money at the time, there were becoming beyond obsessed with these common components and patterns. I also started writing down the strategies that worked and quickly tossed out those that didn't. I was on the right path to winning as I began to win more and more each time. As I was winning even a little money at the time, there were many people who want to be your friend, but they may not all have the best intents. That's actually something very important, and you're going to need to remember, because after I show you how my winning number method works, and you start winning a hefty payout pretty much every month, you're going to have tons of friends, family, neighbors, and even complete strangers trying to ask you for money, particularly if you aren't watchful and don't stay under the radar. So, please, make sure you're smart about your winnings. It was truly fascinating to see what was transpiring here. Again, my fascination with these common components and patterns would not stop. Well, being a complete math nut, I started crunching numbers like you wouldn't believe. I took their winning patterns and the numbers they chose and played around with them, combining the vital components of each and adding a couple extra principles of probability that I knew should increase the odds of predicting a winner even more. I became hooked on studying the winning drawings for all of the different major lotteries each night to see if the formula I was working extremely hard on was showing any potential. For what felt like a long time, about a little over a year, I would say, I had nothing to show for all my hard work. And then, it suddenly happened. I was on one of the hundreds of variations of the formula I was developing, and I just used it to try to calculate the winning numbers for the latest Fantasy 5 drawing. Like clockwork, I went online to check what the actual winning numbers were, but what I saw made my jaw drop almost to the floor. The method I'd been slaving over had accurately predicted every single number, all 5 of them. Well, at first I was pretty upset. If I had actually purchased a ticket using my numbers, I would have won a ton of money. That felt horrible, and I started beating myself up for being stupid until it dawned on me. The formula I'd been constructing and perfecting for nearly 20 years appeared to have worked. Of course, it could have been a coincidence, so I had to just keep trying it. But you better believe I didn't just stand on the sidelines and watch any longer. Instead, I took around $50 and purchased tickets to several different popular lotto games. Games like Mega Millions, Powerball, Fantasy 5, etc. And sure enough, boom, there it was. I was holding a $13,696 Florida Fantasy 5 grand prize winner right in my hand. And a short while after that, boom, there it was again. I'd hit the Mega Millions jackpot for a whopping grand prize of $842,000. Then another short time after that, I won again when I locked in another Fantasy 5 ticket worth $73,658.06. Luckily, I'd actually purchased the ticket this time. It was amazing. I couldn't believe what was happening, and it all felt like a dream until I drove down to the state lottery office, collected my checks, and put them in the bank. You probably don't need to be told how great that felt to all of a sudden not have to worry about money anymore, to be able to pay off your debts, to purchase a Lexus for your wife, or a Ferrari for myself, or a BMW for your kid, or really any car you've ever imagined getting. To see the expressions on the guys at the dealership's faces when they ask to run a credit check on you and you say, "No, I'll just go ahead and pay cash." Or to be idolized by your entire family, to quickly make more money in a couple of months of playing the lotto than you'd earned in the last 5 years of working 40, 50, 60, or even 80 hours per week. Well, over the next couple of months, I kept using my formula, And I won 2 more times. No, I wasn't making millions and millions of dollars, but I was nailing prizes worth anywhere from a couple thousand to a few $100,000, and that was just fine by me. The lottery office started to look at me very strangely as I made the trip to see them just about every other week. I think half of them were smiling, and the other half worried, but they couldn't do anything about it. They knew, just like you do, that it's impossible to cheat the lotto, and I wasn't doing anything dishonest or immoral. I'd simply take the basic components and patterns of each of these multi-winners, learned what seemed to be so special about them, adjusted them using some additional probability theory, also combining it with my own 20 years of hard work, testing, tracking, and tweaking just about every method out there, and turning them into a plug-and-play lottery winning method. I've nicknamed it Lotto Dominator. You'll finally start winning lotteries and be able to accomplish anything you want in life. It's something that anyone can do. Even if you have problems with simple math, it doesn't matter, because it's so easy. That's exactly what Bill Merriman of Melbourne, Australia did. I picked up $46,000 last week in our Powerball lottery as a result of keeping the same numbers. And Kevin, who's now winning consistently using my methods. Before your methods, I played for 20 years. The most I ever won was $86. Now, I win about $100 a week. I even won tickets of $1,000 and $5,000. I've won $23,075 since. And another review from Jason in Kansas City, Missouri, who won big using my methods while playing the $100 million blockbuster scratch-off. Oh my God, I won $10,000 today on the $100 million blockbuster scratch-off. I can't believe it. I'm looking at the card over and over again. Now, it's important to understand you're not going to win every time. You may also not win the Powerball jackpot next week. Sorry to say, but that's just being truthful. However, if you're fine with winning thousands of dollars on the tickets you buy on a pretty frequent basis, and also once in a while hitting a smaller size jackpot that's worth between $200,000 and $3 million or so, doing it over the course of about every 3 to 6 months, then the Lotto Dominator method I've created will work perfectly for you. All right, so you're probably pretty anxious to know how my secret formula works, and I'll give you all of the details right now. 1. Start writing down the previous winning numbers for each of the games you want to play. I personally recommend you get a fresh legal pad that you use solely for this purpose. If you don't already have one, you can quickly buy one from Walmart, Office Depot, or Dollar General for less than $1. 2. Once you have the winning numbers for at least 7 previous drawings, and you can look these up online in just a few minutes, you plug them into the simple formula I teach you inside the Lotto Dominator system. This formula is based on lots of complex mathematics, but I've done all the hard work for you, so that you just basically need to add and divide a couple of numbers. Use a calculator if you choose to, but even the most 7-year-olds will be able to do this mentally without any issues. 3. Go purchase your tickets based on the winning numbers my formula gives you. Practically every single lottery game in the world is based on the same mathematical values, which means that the formula you'll be getting works for all of them. So, play as many games as you want, but don't spend more than $20 to $25 or so, because there's no reason to. 4. You may find out that you've won only a small prize of a few $1,000s or so the first time. Or you may not win the first time at all. Either way, don't get discouraged. The numbers don't lie, and it will only be a short matter of time before you're going to hit. 5. As a good rule of thumb, you should focus on winning once or twice per month for a payout of around $15,000 to $20,000. Some months you may only win $10,000, and other months you may hit numerous winners or a jackpot and find yourself cashing a check for $200,000. Winning a jackpot is an unbelievable feeling, but I think it's important to set realistic expectations, which is why I say to go for $15,000 to $20,000 per month or so. 6, keep repeating for as long as you want. This can become your full-time job if you wanted to, and you'll be astonished at the long-term stability. All lotto games in the world have the same principle, so this will always work for you, even if a certain game is no longer available or a new one is released. That's really it. Although, like I stated before, I highly recommend you do try to stay under the radar. It's probably in your best interest to hire a financial planner and an accountant after your first couple of wins. While sometimes they can sort of be the fun killer, they'll really help you make sure that you're investing your hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars wisely so you can turn the cash you win into even more money. Oh yeah, and also, you might want to donate some of the money you make to charity or a good cause. Not right away, because you'll probably be more focused on making large cash payments to settle any debts you may have, or buying your new house, or getting your spouse a new Lexus, or taking your child on vacation. But once you've won your 4th, 5th, 12th, maybe even 20th time over a few-year period, I think it's really important to stay humble and to give a little back to some well-deserving charity. One of the most valuable lessons I learned after being extremely wealthy now is to give back and to help other people who are less fortunate. After you reach a certain amount in the bank and you have everything you've been longing for, the money in the bank account would just be a number. Believe me, giving back will provide more pleasure than having all the money in the world.